Hello friends, Rich with Green Rust back with you here at Green Rust. We not only like green rust, but we also like Jeep rust, and this is a good way to describe this whole beast. This is a 1992 Jeep Wrangler, affectionately called the YJ, and we rescued this after sitting 8 years in a field. The previous owner passed away, and so we have done a lot of work on it to get it to where it's not ready for the recycler. So I'll walk you around and show you some of the things that we've done to it. It's an interesting Jeep. These are funneled machines. So the first thing we noticed was the cooling system was totally dissected. He had pulled the radiator out, all the heater hoses, and it had been sitting for 8 years, which makes it really exciting for wildlife that live in the fields that love to go in there. So we had to do some work to clean and flush things out. This is the 4.2 liter 4-cylinder engine. We're toying with the idea of maybe putting a Cummins 4BT in there. We'll keep you posted if we do that, just to give it more power. Bodywork seems to be fine. There's some little tiny pieces of rust here and there, but really pretty good for all it is. Rubber all the way around is just destroyed, cracked, no good. We'll be replacing all of that. Already started to do that, replace a few pieces like this window strip, the door strips, so that it's not quite so rattly. When we first got it and got it running, we noticed that all of the screws for the hardtop and a couple of the bolts back there in the hardtop area had been taken out when the hardtop was removed and not put back in, so it just rattles. And all the washers and all of the rubber that seals that between the hardtop and the Jeep and the windshield will have to be replaced. The other thing we found out was the gentleman had started to fiddle with the fuel tank. So we, not knowing for sure what he had done, we pulled the fuel tank. We replaced the fuel filter, replaced all the fuel lines from the fuel tank to the metal lines, and then original factory right here, there's a filter. So we replaced that. That was original from probably 1992, I'm assuming. Fuel tanks on these have a skid plate underneath, and so we replaced that. We pulled the skid plate, and most of those are really rusted. This one wasn't too bad, so we sandblasted it, repainted it, and put it all back together. Seems to run really well now. Probably hadn't had a clean fuel filter in who knows how many years. So then we went to work on the suspension. So this had the stock suspension on it still. We ripped that all out, put in a Rough Country 2.5 inch. Rough Country stands behind their product really well, and yeah, there are better and more expensive ones out there, but they do really well to stand behind product, and they're a good system. So we replaced that all the way around. JKS links and ProComp. Also, you can see there shocks. It was really bad off, really rattly, so this helped. So the first thing we look at here, this is the original front shocks. You can see the Chrysler emblem there and on the steering stabilizer. So these are probably original from 1992, because I can't imagine anybody replacing original hardware on a Jeep. Usually it's something a little bit upgraded. There's the two rears, and they are sprung, not much left in them as well. Here's our sway bar end links. They're very worn out and rusted, so they were no good. Springs. So here you can see these are set up just the way they were in the Jeep. This one here being the right front, left front, and so forth. You can tell if you look close here, this one has a serious problem. It's totally worn out. Jog in that thing. I don't know what happened there. If they were off-roading too hard. Heavy passenger for years, I don't know. Torque to the engine. So this is all worn out and will be recycled. And when we replace that's a 2.5 inch Rough Country lift kit. It gained us 3.5 inches, so those springs roughly 3.5 inches. So we gained about an inch lift on that from just replacing the original hardware from 1992. So a lot left to do on this. We didn't take the time to show you the video of replacing all those things because you can see that anywhere on the internet, but we will show you if we end up changing engine, transmission, transfer case, things like that, upgrading. We'll keep you posted and may show you some videos on that as well. It's kind of been a fun project, not quite as old as some of the things we have worked on. 50 years newer than our old GPW that we've restored. So we'll play with it and keep you posted on it. But it has some interesting possibilities to it. A couple of things on the interior. We gutted the interior, replaced the carpet. It's got a really nice 1990 era Rampage cassette player, and it's got some nice options here, wires hanging down. We'll have to address all of that. So no Wi-Fi radios here, all basic. Had to fix the horn, it was just corroded, replaced that. The gentleman had torn apart the left rear blinker. Not sure what he was doing, but we just repaired the wiring and put a bulb in, and it started working. And so sometimes the most simple things to fix are the most simple things to fix. If you just go to the simplest route instead of tearing apart wiring, it's just a bulb. So we'll have to replace the windshield on it. Windshield has got a problem there, so we'll keep you posted on everything we do in the future to it. If it's interesting, if there's 1,000 videos on YouTube, we probably won't post those for you, but we'll let you see anything that's fun and exciting on there. Oh, one more thing, slip yoke adapter. You put a lift on these, even a 2.5-inch lift, you really need to put a slip yoke adapter on the rear drive line. It changes the angle severely on those, and you get a lot of vibration. So if we do a slip yoke adapter on that 231 transfer case, we'll keep you posted on that.